out of curiosity, again, you don't have to like answer this if you don't want to. In terms of like kind of when you found like the hair stuff, then you're really interested in, because I feel like that kind of, I mean, it is, I guess, like it's not just like a creative thing, but like, was that something that like your family and your friends were like, oh yeah, that's a great thing for you to pursue, or was there maybe a little more like go for something a bit safer? Or
No, I mean, so like I had gone to university for a minute and like never even found some of my classes, and then like, a month in was like talking to my mom in the stairwell of the dorm being like, I just like did the math of like how to even pass these midterms, and like there's no way I'm doing this, and it just didn't feel right for me. I mean, yeah, so I left, and then she was supportive, like even on the phone call. It wasn't like she's always been very supportive of what I want to do. And I think always realize if you're doing something happy, like something that makes you happy, success will come. Like, I mean, happiness is success. So that's, I think, the main factor that she's always been supportive of. So yeah, lucky there. And even my siblings too, or my friends.
You just made me think of something, because you said happiness is success, and I really like that. And that reminded me of this thing that I've heard, and kind of in terms of that, like, what did you want to be when you grew up? And I've seen people point out this idea that like it's always that you have to like get like a job when you grow up. You can't just be like, I just want to be happy when I grow up. And I think that's another thing that kind of really needs to be out there more, of like yes, you're obviously gonna have to support yourself, but like you also want to try not to be like miserable doing it. So I do think there's a lot of, even though that seems like a very simplistic thing to say, happiness is success, but I do think that there's a strong kernel of truth in there, that if you're not happy with what you're doing, then you're gonna like, or if you maybe aren't like in your dream situation, if you're at least, content, then that's definitely something. Yeah, so the next question...
Yes, I think finding happiness in the small things too, like even when, even if you're not working in a job that's your perfect, like spiritual, oh, this is exactly what I want it to be, just finding those little moments of happiness, or just feeling accomplished at the end of your day. And then maybe if you're not your part of your day, like doing something at home that is, and making your hobbies a little bit more important to you. Because I don't think everyone's going to find a job that is like sings to their soul. Like, sometimes that's not where you find your happiness either.
Yeah. Great advice and wisdom there. So the next question here, again, kind of in the same vein as these other questions, I like to ask about, I preface this by saying failure can be a good thing, because obviously when things don't go the way you expect, or if you fall short on your goal, then you learn like, oh, I would have been more successful if I'd done this, or that would have gone less badly if I had done that, or whatever. So I like to ask, what is something in your life that didn't go the way that you'd hoped, or that you failed at, but you learned something really valuable from it, and what did you learn?
I mean, I guess the university, learned I didn't want to be there. And again, was also privileged enough to be able to say I'm leaving without I got out before I wasted too much money, but still that was pretty irresponsible. So I guess that failure just taught me to, don't just go with the flow, think about what you actually want. I just after high school, I guess you go to university, I'll do this, but it wasn't something I had really, put too much thought into, and didn't really think about myself. So yeah, I think since then I really tried to think about what is this decision meaning to me, and is it something I actually want to do, or am I just going along for the ride?
Yeah, absolutely. That is totally a valid lesson to be learned, and because I think go with the flow is advice that is frequently given, and it does have its place. But I also, as I'm a person, I overthink everything. So for me, it's I'm trying to learn to go with the flow better, but because my default is not doing that enough. But for some people, maybe they go with the flow way too easily, and they need to actually stop and think a little bit more often.
Yes. I think also something that was is an intention of mine in the future is to actually fail more. I feel like I don't actually have that many failures, only because I don't often try something new or put myself in an uncomfortable situation that wasn't, just even like writing this book, like I don't actually have experience. But if I finish it, even if it doesn't get published, I'm still happy I tried. And the fear of failure sometimes stops you. I mean, people always say that, but yeah, I don't want the fear of failing to stop me as much. I hope to fail more things in my future.
I like that proactivity.